So today I wanted to talk about the Staccato XC and my progression into the firearm, what I've done to this one specifically, and why I really like it. I guess before we go too far though, I'm not like a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge guy because I think they all make a good truck. Someone will probably come after me for that, but that's kind of how the 2011 world is becoming. There are a lot of awesome manufacturers out there. This is just the one that I've settled on for now, but it doesn't mean that that's where I'm going to settle on forever. So my progression into getting the Staccato XC was I do the tactical games. I'm not a great competitor, but it's really fun. And I started off with a Glock 19, and then I shot a SIG P320 and thought it was great. And then I got a 320 Legion, and that was great. And I had shot a CZ Shadow and a few other things, and then I shot a Staccato Model P, and I thought that was incredible. And then I shot an XC, and I'm like, it's even better. And so then you take it from there and you shoot an Atlas, and you're like, this is phenomenal. So I already had the XC, and I wanted to make it a little heavier, just shoot a little better, a little flatter. So I ended up getting the Atlas grip module for this specific XC. It takes out the thumb safety or the grip safety, and it doesn't have one now, which is kind of nice. You know, some people will throw like goon tape or tape around to just make sure that stays in. I never had a problem with the grip safety. I guess maybe I gripped tight enough that it was just never an issue for me, but it was kind of nice to get rid of that. It does have the dual, I can't talk sometimes, the ambidextrous safety. And I guess before we go too far, just, show clear, because this is YouTube and we show safety. So this one specifically, it's got the Atlas grip module on it. It also changed to an Atlas trigger, flat face trigger. I really like it. The trigger's not a lot better than the stock trigger, but it is better. It just feels a little more crisp, a little more smooth. So we threw a Cerakote on the grip. This came as just the raw aluminum. And a buddy of mine in Rexburg, Idaho, his name's Seth. I'll tag his business in here. He took it and did a new textured Cerakote. So I had Duracoated it, which I'm not a Duracoater or a Cerakoter, so it was nice to get that over to Seth and have him really dive into it. But he did a textured Cerakote on it and then put a black over top of it. I liked the red trigger just because it gave some contrast there. I started off with my kids are jumping upstairs. I hope you guys can't hear that. I started off with a Leupold Delta Pro, and I really liked the sight. It was really good, small MOA, and I had it very dialed, and I liked it a lot. But sometimes in the tactical games and other competitions, there is dust and wind, and I noticed that the glass would just get a lot of dust and stuff in it. And so I started to play around with some different sights, and I know that an SRO is not enclosed, but I did throw an SRO on it. It actually didn't work because of my belt's not in here, but the SRO sticks so far down that it actually wouldn't go into my holster. And I have a Safariland that was modified by RD Gear, and it's been awesome. So I took the SRO off, messed with a couple different things, and what I settled on was the enclosed Vortex Defender ST. Now some people are going to be like, man, you threw a Vortex on a Staccato with an Atlas grip, but it's okay, you can come after me. They're really becoming a tried and true optic, in my opinion. I've never had a problem with it, and just like dirt bikes. So I have a dirt bike, and it's awesome, and I can never ride to the ability of the dirt bike. I also can't shoot to the ability of this gun or to the ability of the optic. It's all on me, so it's okay that I threw a Vortex on a Staccato. But I've really liked it. It also has the little solar panel up at the top, so it does help keep your battery just a little bit longer. I have the Surefire X300 Ultra on it, which to me, I always figured when I was just growing up and I didn't really know a lot about firearms, I was like, yeah, you want light. But as I get older and as I shoot more, I like heavy. So, you know, for me, you throw a light on the front, you've got the compensation, the aluminum grip, just the weight of this gun is phenomenal. And I just shoot really flat with it. And so I've just really liked it. I chose not to Cerakote the mag release, just personal preference there. I just like the contrast in all of it. It also came with the very flared magwell, which helps a lot. So let's break this down. Again, you know, we always check clear. So on this, you're going to come back with the slide. I normally don't do this on a camera, so it's a little easier for me. So you bring it back to where this is lined up in that little slot there, and then that just pulls right out. Then the slide comes off. Kind of a cool design here. So you push this forward, and it's got this little catch. And at that point, this can come and slide clear up and out. So when that spring is extended, you obviously can't get it out, so you just put that catch on. And I haven't cleaned it in the last couple times of shooting it. But at that point, barrel, it's got this little ring on it there. Push that forward, and that barrel just slides right out. So this compensator end is part of the barrel, it looks like. I guess I should have known that before I started talking about the gun. But anyways, comes apart very, very easily, very easy to clean. And then you just reverse that whole process to get it back. I'll also show you guys the internals here. Also, taking this apart and putting the Atlas grip on it, it was pretty cool. And this sounds maybe kind of weird, but I felt like part of history, because John Browning and his whole story is absolutely incredible. And as you guys know, the 2011, it's essentially a 1911, but it's a double stack and a 9mm. And so just taking it all apart and seeing what he figured out in the early 1900s, I mean, even there were machine gun type guns, you know, semi-autos, fully autos, late 1800s. Just what they could do back then, it blows me away. And so it was really cool to just take it all apart, put it all back together, and see the ingenuity that they had at the time. So that's, you know, neither here nor there, but I just it was pretty cool to be a part of, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so there we go. Anyways, I've really enjoyed this firearm. I definitely recommend it. Definitely go shoot one if you can before you dive into it. You know, they're a little bit more expensive. And like I said in the beginning, I'm not sold on any firearm. You know, maybe at some point we go to an Atlas or Terran Tactical. I don't know. But for right now, this is where we're at. I really like it. If you guys have any questions, please comment, and I'm happy to answer what I can. I'm not an absolute expert in any of it, but I will try. So thank you guys for watching.